I would love to be present here for the debates because there are so much useful information we can use in the European Parliament. We are not specialists in fintech or payments. We just try to regulate something. It's very difficult to understand or to predict, even for the companies, fintech companies involved now in the market. We've discussed with many CEOs or people who had startups in fintech field, and they say they just make their business plan for 6 months, not more, because they don't know what will happen in 6 months from now. And we are trying to regulate something that we don't know how it will look like in 6 months, 1 year from now. So it's a very new topic for us, and we have to deal with it. We have our first INI report now in the Parliament. We didn't have on the radar fintech till now. It's very new, and we are trying to do our best to regulate it, but not to kill it, because there are two ways to regulate. One is rule-based regulation that's more strict, more concrete, but that won't leave room for innovation, for startups to grow, and a principle-based regulation, more flexible, giving more loose framework for innovation and for new ideas to come in the market. But also this is also problematic because you have to know exactly what the rules are to avoid the problems. Fintech is a disruptive, has a disruptive effect on the markets because it's new, it's innovative, it's creative, and we should keep a balance between a traditional way of doing business and the new ways of doing business now. I would say that one of our dilemmas is how to make this field of not only payments but fintech cross-border activity, because now we have 28, starting with today, unfortunately 27 economical realities in Europe. We have borders, we have different rules. There is not, for the moment, a cross-border, a unique single European market. Mr. Dombrovskis discussed a few days ago about cross-border passporting to help fintech companies to do business in Europe, no matter what country they choose to have their business. But that's not a reality yet. And discussing now today, when we have Brexit Day, sad day for Europe, that would mean also that for the companies now located in London, that would be a problem in the future, because this passporting, cross-border passporting, will limit their access to the single market and will give more competitive advantages for companies in Europe. That would mean that other fintech hubs in Europe, like Berlin, for example, could be more efficient in attracting this kind of financial activities. Another issue we are concerned of is the inclusion of people, because we know we don't have much literacy, digital literacy or financial literacy in Europe. There are not so many people used to use mobile phones or other apps to access their banking accounts. There is a study these days in Belgium more than half of the Belgian people, they don't know exactly how to calculate their interest rate for a credit. So we still have many things to have in our mind when we try to regulate this field of activity. Of course, there is a clash between, or not a clash, but resistance from the banking system in Europe, because they don't accept the third-party providers of financial services to get into the market and to participate, to create competition. Of course, they are trying to protect their business. In my opinion, the competition is good, the innovation is good, we need to enforce that, and I think PSD2 is helping somehow, not totally, but it's a good, courageous step forward in this direction. We had a debate last night in the European Parliament at the European Internet Forum regarding this fintech activity, and there was a question if Europe is leading in this field or is lagging behind. I think looking at what's happening now in the United States or in Asia, that's for sure we are not leading. We are not leading because there are some important steps we didn't make till now. We are not leading because of some regulations not helping a lot innovation and companies, about financing startups in this field, and also about technology. And I think we are not leading because we have a huge potential in Europe with 27 states, but we are not working together. We still don't have yet a single market, and we still have obstacles in doing business, costs in doing business in cross-border around Europe. So there is still much to do on this field. We will have a debate now with Commissioner Dombrovskis, and I think the idea of a cross-border passporting, it's a good one, and it will help a lot. We debate also much in the Parliament on money laundering and financing terrorism, and one of the concerns is regarding virtual currencies and how these online payments could help terrorists to finance their activities, or people to hide their wealth, not to pay taxes. I think strong customer authentication can help and will help in having all the information we need about customers in order to know exactly their identification, and also to have a traceability of their financial activities. For the moment, we are working on this report. It's nothing definitive, it's not in a final form, and we still have debates. I would like to have more information about what was discussed here today. Unfortunately, I cannot stay, and I couldn't be earlier here because we have many events in the Parliament regarding the Brexit Day, and now we have debate with Commissioner Dombrovskis, as I said. So I apologize for not staying with you, but I hope we stay in touch and we exchange information. I let you my contacts, and maybe you give me more information about what was discussed here, because it's very interesting and very, very actual. Thank you very much.